Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen, guys. The channel that brings you your team every single day, brings you all the latest Rangers news, views, and updates, guys. If you want that, if you need your daily update, if you need your daily Rangers fix, then hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and give the channel, give the video a like, guys. It does help out with the channel, guys. Phenomenal response from you guys in terms of the subs are going so fantastically well, guys. We're approaching 1,600, I think 1,581 at time of recording, and also as well over 200,000 views already. And then the channel is celebrating its 100-day birthday today. We're 100 days old officially today, and your support over those 100 days has been phenomenal. So Rangers fans, greatest fans in the world, greatest family in the world, thank you so much for all your support. Well, we've got a few bits and pieces of news still going around. Obviously, I know it's the off-season. I know the transfer window does not open to the 14th of June, so you can't officially sign players unless they're free agents until that 14th of June passes and comes. But there is still a whole host of transfer news out there. We've got more Hagi Wright news. We've got Ben Davies news. We've got a bit more news, obviously, around the club that is coming around. We've also got some news about Scott Arfield. And I know Scott's left now. I know Scott is an ex-Rangers player, and I know Scott is someone we're all going to miss. Well, the vast majority of us are going to miss. He was someone who was an absolute legend for the club during his time in Glasgow, and we're all going to miss the Scotty salute, aren't we? I think we should still have the Scotty salute. I think we should do it. When we score, maybe, I don't know, Scotty salute. Okay, but anyway. I don't know if you remember, but Fashion Sakala, when we played Hearts in that 2-2 draw, that very odd game, the last game at season at Ibrox, when Fashion scored the goal that put Rangers 2-1 up, he echoed the Scotty salute, didn't he? And Scott Arfields has been interviewed on Rangers TV. Kind of like an exit interview like we all have when we leave work. We have an exit interview, don't we? And Scotty was talking a little bit about that and a bit about fashion and about what he, in terms of that Scotty salute. And he kind of laid down a little bit of a challenge and a little bit of a swipe maybe at fashion. I don't know. Obviously, Scott talked about his love for the club. He talked about how fantastic the fans had been. He talked about the fact that how much he loved playing for Rangers and how we hope that Rangers obviously went on to success in the future, as we all do, guys, as we all do after that hideous day at Hampden yesterday. But this is the quote that Scotty said about fashion. Let's have a look at it, shall we? So Scotty said, Fashion Sakala says he's going to take the salute and carry it on, but I don't think that's true. He needs to get a game, doesn't he? And he needs to score more goals than that. So if he scores more goals than me, then he can keep it. But up until now, it's only me and Darshville. Interesting quote from Scotty, isn't it? That's a very interesting quote from Scotty there in terms of what he's got to say. So let's have a little look at that quote, shall we? And sort of examine that quote a little bit, in terms of what Scotty means by that. So Scotty says, first of all, he needs to get a game, doesn't he? So there's a little bit of a challenge there to Fashion. I think that maybe people see Fashion as not having a starting place in the team, not seeing Fashion as been a regular starter for Rangers next season. And he's kind of saying in that, I think, that Fashion needs to make sure he plays. I mean, Fashion scored 21 goals in 59 games for Rangers, which is a fairly impressive return, but people do doubt that Fashion will get a game next season. Scotty, of course, has scored 29 goals in 144 games for Rangers, so still obviously Fashion is 8 goals behind Scotty. He also says he needs to score more goals than that. So I think, is that a kind of a thinly veiled swipe at the fact that Fashion misses chances, that Fashion misses open goals in vital games? Is that a little bit of a swipe there from Scotty? Hey, I don't know. Scotty's a classy guy, maybe not. I don't know. And then he says, if he scores more goals, he can keep it. So he's got to score more than Scotty. There's the challenge there. Fashion, you've got to get more than 29 goals. And the fact that it's only him and those of you who remember Jean-Claude Darshville who can do the Scotty salute. So is that a little bit of a swipe at Fashion? Is Captain Scott, Captain Canada, having a little bit of a swipe? Could well be at old Fashion Sakala. But, certainly Scotty's right. I think, Fashion, may struggle for game time next season if he stays at the club. I know Burnley were linked with Fashion earlier in this summer. But for me, if Sakala stays, he's a squad player. He's not a starter. With the plans Rangers have, the players they can potentially bring in, the players you've kind of already got as well, the Tom Lawrences, Todd Cantwells, Kieran Dowells of this world, we have got an awful lot of talent on display. So, is Fashion going to stay there? You know, if Michael Beale sees Fashion as a striker, the fact obviously, you know, we are interested in a number of strikers, and you know, Antonio Cholak could well stay at the club, and I can see Zach Lovelace playing a part next season. You know, is Fashion necessarily going to get a game? You know, personally speaking, I don't think Fashion is good enough to start for Rangers. He's too inconsistent. He's consistently inconsistent. That's the issue with Sakala, isn't it? He's massively inconsistent. So all credit to old Scotty there with that little bit of a clever quote, a clever challenge to Fashion. Get more games, Fashion. Get more goals, Fashion. And then you can have the Scotty salute. And we'll all love to see that at Ibrox again very soon, especially against that lot from across the city. Well, let's talk a bit about this man here, Ben Davies. Now, Ben Davies is obviously this is his maiden season for Rangers after that move that he made. Now, Davies is someone obviously who some fans rate. Some fans think that Davies is, you know, that Ben Davies is a very good player. You know, some people see him as been, you know, a good quality centre half for Rangers, and someone that you know, that can go on to have success. You know, he joined for initial $3 million, which could rise to £4 million depending on appearances and of other little things as well. But you know, I think it's highly doubtful we're there yet in terms of those add-ons. This season, I've got Scott Arfield on the brain. This season, Ben Davies has played 31 league games for no, he didn't. I've got the wrong player. I do apologise. This season, I am going on to the right player. This season, Ben Davies has played 27 games for Rangers in the Scottish Premier League. Hasn't scored a goal, 1 assist, apparently 2 yellow cards. He's made 2 appearances in the Scottish League Cup. Again, no goals, no assists, no yellow cards, no red cards. And in the Champions League, he made 5 appearances for Rangers. Again, no goals and no assists for Ben Davies. Now, some people see Ben as been a little bit too lightweight, not having the strength to actually, you know, be a quality defender. You know, people talk about the need for Rangers to get, you know, back to a bit of old school, isn't it? Get back to the days of Richard Gough and Terry Butcher, Graham Roberts, you know, those no-nonsense people that played for us that, you know, got in there, got stuck in and fought. And Ben Davies is not that sort, is he? And obviously he had that huge ricket at Parkhead, which is not the first one he'd made this season. But like I said, he's someone who divides the fan base. A lot of the fans think he's great. Some fans think he's awful. Some fans be happy to see him go. Some fans want to keep him. Now, it appears from reports there are a number of championship clubs, like I said on the video yesterday, including Stoke, who are very heavily interested in a bid for Ben Davies. Ben Davies is also apparently one of the higher wage earners at the club as well. Something else to take into account. He does earn a substantial amount of money for Rangers, apparently, allegedly. You know, we all know, you know, you don't know for a fact how much these guys are on. You know, it's all supposition. I don't think it's particularly published anywhere. You know, at the end of the day, it is, you know, kind of a little bit of a debatable one, but apparently he is one of the higher wage earners at the club. So it would take a substantial offer to get Ben to leave the club. Now, apparently, Michael Beale has not put his name forward as being one of those on the chopping block. Apparently, he is not seen as being someone who Beale wants to sell on. Beale is quite happy to retain the services of Ben Davies. Obviously, you know, Rangers are apparently, according to a lot of the rumours, likely to sign a centre-half this off-season. That is a very strong rumour that is doing the rounds. And that centre-half would then go into competition, it is felt, with the likes, obviously, of Connor Goldson, of John Suter, and obviously as well now, Ben Davies. Now, if that would mean that Leon King, who did quite well at the end of last season, would go out on loan next season to try and get first team football. However, you know, this is such a situation that could change. And how could it change? Well, this is how it could change. It said that apparently if an offer comes in, an unbelievable offer that could get us our money back for Davies, somewhere in the region of, say, 4 million, then at the end of the day, then Rangers might well be willing to listen to offers for Ben Davies, but only if obviously they get their money back. But at this moment in time, he is not seen as being one of those people who are on the chopping block or who are likely to be sold by the club. The club apparently are interested in keeping hold of the services of Ben Davies and seeing him as being part of the squad next season. He is a solid defender. I realistically don't think the guy is a starter. Don't want to see him starting for Rangers. I think Suter's a better defender. I think Goldson's a better defender. I think we can probably sign a better defender as well. So at the end of the day, personally, I think, that if an offer does come in, we should sell him on. I think, if you can get 3-4 million for Davies, I think it's more than worth it. But yeah, definitely at the moment, it looks like he is not on the chopping block and he's not going to be sold unless an unbelievable offer comes in for Davies. Now, somebody else who is attracting an awful lot of attention at this moment in time is Glenn Kamara. Now, Michael Beale had his say on Kamara, didn't he, the other day when he talked about the fact that Glenn has a lot to think about this summer and could well be on the move this summer. Now, Rangers could have got up to 10 million for him last summer, allegedly. And also in January could have cashed in on the services of Glenn Kamara. However, it now looks like he is likely to move on in this window, which I think is a good thing, given the fact that I think, since that Europa League run last season, or actually the season before now, it's not last season anymore because last season is last season. That's confusing, but there you go. Glenn Kamara apparently is attracting interest from a number of clubs across Europe, but in particular from newly promoted Sheffield United in the English Premier League. Sheffield United were just recently elevated back to the English Premier League, apparently are very much interested in securing the services of Kamara to help build their Premier League squad. Manager Paul Heckingbottom is thought to be an admirer of Kamara, and certainly Kamara has been someone that has been rumoured to be someone that Heckingbottom would like to sign for the Blades. So could Kamara be on his way down south? And what is also, I think, a huge positive is if, as is said, that he is someone who is attracting interest from a lot of clubs, then you could even get a situation where, I don't want to say bidding war, but you could actually trade people off against each other and perhaps maximize the income for this player. Now, at one point, it was felt that if Rangers could secure £2 million for him, £1 to £2 million, then that would be a good deal for Rangers. But who knows? That could change now. Like I said, if 2 or 3 teams are allegedly interested in buying Kamara, it really could be a situation where we could actually get a little bit more money for Kamara. It's not just obviously Sheffield United, apparently. There are other clubs, like I said, that are interested. Southampton, who are now being relegated to the Championship, also apparently are interested in Glenn Kamara as well. So again, this is good news for Rangers. Like I said, it is a situation where we could really push up the price a little bit and get a bit of a bidding war ongoing for Glenn. I mean, again, I think it's worth it. I think we do need to ship Kamara on, and the more money we can get for him, the better, because that money can then be reinvested into player purchasing this summer. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Ryan Kent. Now, Ryan Kent is someone, obviously, who has now left the club, but apparently Fenerbahce are going to finalise this signing of Ryan Kent this week. The Turkish Giants apparently are confident that Kent will join them this summer, and that will be announced next week. Obviously, we wish Ryan all the best if he goes out to Turkey. Now, apparently, Rangers' initial bid of $7 million has been rejected for American striker Hagi Wright. Now, we've all got our own feelings on Hagi. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan, but you know what? If he comes, I will get behind him, as I get behind all players that wear the blue shirt of Rangers. But apparently Villarreal are now reportedly to have an interest in the American striker. Villarreal of the Spanish La Liga apparently are reported to be interested in signing Hagi Wright. Now, Rangers have, according to a number of media sources, opened talks to sign Hagi Wright, but the problem is over agreeing a fee for the player. Now, rumours are currently abound. Now, I don't know about these rumours personally. I don't know. I mean, I don't know Michael Beale, unfortunately. I don't know what goes into the club in terms of signings. Look, I'd love to be able to get access to the club. I've talked about that. It's definitely something that Victoria and I are aiming for in the long term. But rumours have it that Rangers are prepared to spend up to £8 million on Hagi Wright. That is the latest rumour that is coming out of the club, which has been reported on a number of sources this morning. £8 million is an awful lot of money to spend on a striker. And, you know, if Rangers have that amount of money, it does beg the question, what is our transfer budget this summer? Is it perhaps substantially more than the 12 to 15 million that was reported by Stevie of Four Lads on Rangers Review the other day? Could it be in the region of 20 to 25 million, which would obviously place Rangers in a position to go and get multiple players and sign multiple players once the transfer window officially opens on the 14th of June. However, it does seem to be the case that Rangers will sign more than one striker this summer. I'm hearing anything between 2 and 3 will come in this window. Obviously, you know, everything will not be solved before anyone says, oh, we need 3, we need this number. Look, nothing is going to be finalised in this window. This squad, I don't think, will be finished building until another window has passed. I think Bill needs summer. He needs January to finish his building of this squad and getting this squad to where we need it to be. So I do think that that will take at least 2 windows to get there. But interesting, you know, nonetheless, that Rangers are prepared to, it seems, up their bid and increase the offer for Hagi Wright. And it's certainly someone they seem to very much rate as being a talent and someone they think that could really come into Rangers and make a big difference to the club. Well, guys, let me know what you think on any of those stories we've talked about in this thing. We've got lots of exciting things coming up for you. Guest, obviously, Colin Stewart on Thursday. 14th, we've got Derek Clark of the Rangers Review. Victoria and I are having a planning meeting tomorrow to plan even more that is coming up. We're also going to be doing Victoria after the NASA convention, which is the 14th to the 18th, I think it is, in Toronto. I'm sure Victoria will correct me if I'm wrong on that. We're going to have a little bit of an interview show where I'm going to interview Victoria. Victoria's going to interview me, and we're going to do our greatest ever Rangers 11s. I'm also hoping to get Victoria's dad on as well. He's a massive Rangers fan and someone who's in the know as well. So could be worth having on. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'll be back to speak to you again very soon here on the channel. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we are the people.